Hi guys, I'm just going to go over each of these problems, numbers 1 through 8, from Friday's homework. Okay, so we have for number 1, you should have first found slope. M equals 8 minus 4 over 3 minus 1. That should have given you 4 over 2, which is a slope of 2. Next, you want to find B, so you go into y equals mx plus b. Your slope is 2, and you can substitute either of those 2 points. I'm going to use 1 and 4 as my x and y. 4 equals 2 times 1 plus b. We're going to solve for b. 4 equals 2 plus b. Subtract over the 2, and you get a y-intercept of 2. So your equation is y equals 2x plus 2. And I'm taking the m value and the b value and plugging them into that equation. Okay? And just ask Miss Espinoza if you have questions along the way. Okay? So for the second one, m equals, I'm going to do for my slope 7 minus 1 over 9 minus 3. That would have given you 6 over 6, which is a slope of 1. Then I'm going to find b. I have my m is 1. I'm going to plug in for x and y. I'll use 3 comma 1. So I'll use this for x and y. So I have 1 equals 1 times 3 plus b. 1 equals 3 plus b. Subtract the 3 over. b equals negative 2. So I have y equals 1x, which is just x, minus 2. The 1 becomes invisible. Okay, going to number 3. Number 3, my slope m equals, I will do 3 minus negative 4 over 8 minus negative 6. That's going to give me 7 over 14, which is 1/2. So my slope is 1/2. I go into y equals mx plus b. I know that's my m value. I'm going to plug in x and y. I will use 8 and 3 as x and y. So I say 3 equals 1/2 times 8 plus b. That's 3 equals 4 plus b. I don't need to clear the fraction here, right, because 8 is divisible by 2. I have a y-intercept of negative 1. So putting it all together, y equals 1/2 x minus 1. Okay, and this is all the work that you need to show. For the next one, my slope, I'm going to subtract negative 1 minus negative 10 over 1 minus negative 8. That's going to give me 9 over 7. No, sorry, 9 over 9. All right, 1 plus 8 is 9. So 9 divided by 9 is 1. I have a slope of 1. I go into y equals mx plus b. I'm going to plug in, so I plugged in my m as 1. I'm going to plug in 1 and negative 1 for x and y. So I have negative 1 equals 1 times 1 plus b. That's going to, when I subtract the 1 over, I get negative 2 for my y-intercept. So y equals 1x, or just x minus 2. All right, moving on. Number 5, slope. I did 5 minus negative 1 over 3 minus 1. That's going to be 6 divided by 2, which is 3. So my m, I plug in, y equals 3x plus b. I'm going to plug in x and y. I'm going to use 1 and negative 1. Doesn't matter which point you use. So I say 1 equals 3 times 1 plus b. I subtract over the 3, and I end up with a y-intercept of negative 4. So I have y equals 3x minus 4. And then beyond this, I think we start getting into clearing fractions. So for the next one, for my slope, I'm going to subtract 11 minus 5 over negative 3 minus 6. That's going to give me 6 over negative 9. I have a slope of negative, they're both divisible by 3. So negative 2/3. That's my slope. I'm going to plug that in for m in y equals mx plus b. And now for x and y, I will use 6 comma 5. Actually, I don't need to clear fractions here because I can see that when I plug in the 6 for x and the y value, the b should stay there as a b. This is b. But the 5 should go in the place of y. I can see that I'm going to highlight in yellow that 6 is divisible by 3, so I don't need to clear the fraction. So I'm going to put this over 1 and cross cancel. It goes in twice. So I have 5 equals negative 4 plus b. When you add the 4 over, you get 9 equals b. So your equation is y equals negative 2/3 x plus 9. Okay. Just stop Ms. Espinosa along the way to ask her questions. Number 7. And this is where maybe I think we start to get into clearing fractions. Slope, you have 14 minus 2 over 10 minus 1. That's going to give us 12 over 9, which these are both divisible by 3, so I get 4/3. So when I go into y equals mx plus b, I'm plugging in m to be 4/3. My x, I'll use 1 and 2 for x and y because they're smaller and easier to work with. 4/3 times 1 plus b equals 2. So here I'm going to need to clear fractions because 1 is not divisible by 3. So I'm going to multiply through by the LCM, which is 3. Remember, this is all one term. So 2 times 3 is 6. 3 divides by 3 once, so I just get 4 times 1 is 4, plus, and then don't forget 3 times b is 3b. So we subtract the 4 over to the other side. I get 2 equals 3b. Divide both sides by 3, and your y-intercept is 2/3. So you end up with an equation of y equals 4/3 x plus 2/3. So your y-intercept can be a fraction. We don't graph them because they're a little more challenging, but you can have a slope and y-intercept that are both fractions. And the last one you had to do for homework was number 8, and you're going to do slope is 6 minus negative 3 over negative 8 minus 4. That's going to give you 9 over negative 12. These are both divisible by 3, so I have negative 3 over 4. So slope is negative 3/4. And now I'm going to go into y equals mx plus b. I plug that negative 3/4 slope in. I'm going to pick x and y. I will choose 4 and negative 3. So I say negative 3 equals negative 3/4 times 4 plus b. Here I don't need to clear the fraction because I can divide evenly. 4 is divisible by 4. So I am just going to put this over 1 and cross cancel. And I have negative 3 equals negative 3 plus b. Add the 3 over and you get a b value of 0. So y equals negative 3/4 x would be your final equation because plus 0 just gives you back y equals negative 3/4 x. Okay, so that's it for your homework. And we will look at your notes from last week. We're going to finish up those notes next.